I was
Yakubatuka.
talking fantasy football with my friends the other day.
Alan, Josh?
Well, look who's back. Where the hell have you been? At home, sitting on your asses?
Go away now, Josh.
Actually, my name is Alan.
You're a dorky white kid with a Cub Scout bandana on his head.
Bravo.
Echo.
November.
Tango. On.
Football.
Hey, that's not that's an adult site. Not on this. Jeez.
Oh, I'll talk about that when we get into the names here.
Well, welcome back to Bedtime Fantasy Football. I am one of your hosts, Alan Bentley.
And I am your other host, Josh Worley.
All right, and we have got some fun for you this week.
We do. We took a week off last week, so we've got a lot to talk about. So this is our first show in 2 weeks.
We did take a week off last week. I want to talk about that for just a second because we have a schedule that we try to stay by week to week, and some people just can't make it. I'm not going to mention any names, but some people just can't make it on those days to do the show.
Well,
So-
Alan, until we get to those thousands of subscribers, we have to have some income outside of this because we're negative from this show.
All right,
So
well, there's your cue. So
that interferes.
So like, subscribe, and share so Josh will be here on time on the right day.
Yes.
All right, let's get into our beers though.
If I remember, wait, you canceled once on me because you had something else going on, remember?
I didn't have anything else going on. I just didn't want you over.
You jerk. All right, guys. Like we said, it's been a couple weeks. We're going to get into our beers, so I thought this would actually be fitting. So what I wrote on my beer is R.I.P. to our friends. So surprisingly, a lot of people have passed. A couple of sports icons
It's
that
passed away, by the way, not just passed.
have passed. That also means the same damn thing,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, but pass is a pass.
You're dishonoring them right now, Alan. So anyway, we got a couple icons. Well, all four of them are really icons. The first two are sports. Dikembe Mutombo, 58, way too young. I still love the no.
Yeah,
You
not
know.
in my house.
Yes, not in my house. Pete Rose, 83. I hope now this finally gets him in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There's no reason he should have been out anyway. That's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Maggie Dean Smith, a great actor. She was, I think, 90, 93. And then Chris Christopherson. So, yeah, he was a big activist,
And he was a country music legend.
country music legend, and an acting legend.
Yep.
So,
Yep. He was in that show. What was that movie he was in?
Blade,
Convoy.
Convoy.
Convoy. That was it. He was in some other stuff too, but
The movie of his that I actually really liked
yeah.
was with Ellen Burstyn. It was a Scorsese film. You would never guess it was a Scorsese film. Do you remember Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yes, it's more like a drama love story, but it was Scorsese's first film, one of his first films.
Kind of before my time.
Oh my God, you're 100 years older than me, so.
All right. So yes.
Didn't you go to prom with Maggie Smith? So shut up.
All right. So yes, definitely. In all seriousness, rest in peace to those four. Hats off. They all were very iconic in their own professions and in their own sports or
Yes.
movies. So I didn't really have a whole lot this week. So what he said. So
Thank you, Ellen.
on that note, let's
Correct.
do this. So guys, pop open a cold one
Sit back.
and enjoy the show.
Oh, yum.
All right. So up next, we're gonna jump right into our wheel, and we're gonna do.
We do, but we want you guys to like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
Get us out there. Like I said, we have to have other employment elsewhere because we're not getting the income here we need, so we can't do the amount of shows for you. And sometimes, oh my God, well, I'm not paying you either. We're paying to do the show, Alan.
Yeah, but you're getting royalties from Whirly Labels.
No, I'm not. I have to pay for the paper and the so yeah.
Actually, that's my paper, my markers. So
You can call me King Worley if you want. You can name me royalty.
Yeah, I can name you something.
Yes.
It's not royalty, I'll tell you that.
Oh
So
my
anyway,
God.
we're gonna jump right into WOMF this week.
Well, let's do Gub first.
No, let's do WOMF.
Fine. No, let's do Gub. I want to do Gub.
All right, look, guys, excuse us for just a minute. We have to talk about this. Puka Nakua.
Fair hooker.
The Brickshaw.
Pork chop Womack.
Oh, come on. Rock Ya Sin.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Shaminga. Biapakatukwa.
Oh my God.
Biakabatuka.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. This is a challenge, guys, just
All
for
right.
him to pronounce fire truck, let alone. Oh, and then your favorite, Richie.
I can say try or fuck. I mean, fire truck.
Well, there goes another week that we won't be on the air. And then your favorite funny name, Richie Incognito.
Yeah, incognito.
Yeah, you were looking up bent carrot in your incognito browser, I'm sure. So your wife wouldn't find out.
Yeah, bent carrot. Let's not get into bent carrot again. I received so much
I
flack
refuse
for
to
that.
look it up, guys. I'm not even. You don't even have to leave anything in the comments. I don't trust what this guy says. Most of the time,
I
but
did notice that it said really labels at the bottom, so don't tell me you don't know what it is.
God, I wish. Maybe I could actually make some money off of that.
All right. So what we decided when we were going back and forth is that we're actually going to do bent predictions. So, what's your bent prediction for this week? Do you have one?
My bent prediction kind of goes into something on the WOMF wheel, but I've been hearing mumblings and rumblings about Anthony Richardson. He's our starting QB.
No, he's your starting QB.
No, he is mine in fantasy, but as soon as he's healthy, he's coming back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, as much as I want to see Anthony Richardson, I need Anthony Richardson to play, but Flacco's the hot hand. I mean, don't you think it'd be kind of silly at this point?
Yeah, I mean Anthony Richardson wasn't really lighting it up before he got injured, but the potential's there.
But we saw what Flacco did last year.
And I totally think that he's going to be a start-worthy quarterback once he comes back.
I do too, and I want him to. But why? I mean, Flacco's really gelling in that offense. You know, why rush him?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so that's your bent prediction?
I think they're going to stick with Flacco. I really do. Going against everything I've heard on XM and the sports stations.
All right. Well, I'm going to make a very bent prediction. I'm going to say that the NFC champions this year are going to be, big drum roll, the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, God, I was hoping you wouldn't say the Packers or somebody like that.
No.
Really?
It's a bent
The
prediction.
Saints?
It's a bent prediction, but I think the Saints have all the pieces there. They just have to put it together and make it work. Whether they can do that or not remains to be seen. You don't like that, do you? You don't like Carr, do you? You don't like Derek Carr.
Okay, here's the thing. Philadelphia stinks this year. They're horrible. Okay, They're not the Philadelphia of old. Dallas is bad. Dallas is just terrible. They're giving up almost 200 yards a game rushing.
I agree with that.
San Fran is not who we thought they were.
Huh?
Minnesota.
You did that, didn't you?
Yeah. I was at that game when freaking your Bears beat my Cards. Teddy Green got pissed off. But anyway, San Fran is not who we thought they were. Did I just say San Fran? Oh, and Minnesota. Yes, they're hot right now. But that Minnesota team, if you watch the games, they're not world beaters. They're not really doing anything to win games. They're basically just managing the games, and they're playing subpar teams. I mean, that's it.
And let me roll off of that. St. Louis. Oh, wait a minute. There is no St.
Los
Louis
Angeles
team.
Rams.
He made that mistake a couple times when we were watching games over the weekend. And
Dude,
I
we
don't-
make it all the time.
and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Rams, also not who we thought they'd be.
No.
The Raiders. Or I'm sorry, not the Raiders. The Cardinals, not who we thought they were.
God, they are who I thought they would be. They're horrible.
Well, they are, but they're not. I figured they'd be better than what they are. Although they have won a game this year, so I can't say.
Yeah.
Can't say
I was
much.
really, really high on my Cards after week 1 when they played Buffalo to one possession game.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, have you seen Buffalo lately? They stink. They stink.
So let's run back to the NFC North.
I like Detroit. Detroit, I think is going to be. I think Detroit will give New Orleans a run for their money. I really do.
Detroit's going to be a decent run, make a decent run for it too. Green Bay, I don't think has got it. I think Green Bay's once their little secret gets out on how to defend them, I think they're done. Not that they're not going to have good fantasy numbers. I think there's still going to be some fantasy points there, but I just don't think they're going to be the team that Packer fans are hoping for.
Okay, one team that is actually pretty surprising, and they're playing the Saints this week, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
I think that's going to be. A lot of people are circling like Dallas and Detroit. I think that could be the game of the week. The New Orleans Tampa Bay guys. That could be
It
some
could be
fireworks.
It could be a really good game. It could be a big time shootout.
Or it could just suck like some games that we
Yeah,
think of.
That's true. That's true.
I think that's my game of the week right there. Actually.
All right. So what does that leave us in the NFC?
Two teams I want to bring up. I think that could challenge New Orleans. I really do. I like New Orleans, but the Bucks in the same division. Tampa Bay is playing lights out right now, guys.
They are.
Washington looks really, really good. Okay.
They do. They look spotty good though. They look really good at sometimes, and I mean really good.
Their lack of depth of weapons, I think, is going to kill them.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's when
You can't rely on Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler to run that backfield and continuously win games. Jaden Daniels, I love him because he started off his career at ASU in college, but he's a great quarterback. He's with the amount of runs that he's doing, he's going to take a hit. Without him, who else they got?
Yep. And then the Falcons. What do you think of the Falcons?
The Falcons. Oh God, they're
a mixed bag.
They really are. They really are. I don't think we'll ever see a 500-yard game again from Kirk Cousins. Did you realize that game last week? I was looking at the fantasy numbers. Mooney, Pitts, Drake London, Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You know daily fantasy where you can pick your lineups?
Yep.
Somebody was saying on XM, somebody picked those four guys to do a stack, scored 150 points between those four guys. So
You know, we talked about that over the weekend and how
all four of them scored over 25.
Right.
I've never seen that before.
on one of my leagues, somebody's got three of those.
Mm-hmm.
Three of those four players, and they scored the hell out of some points this week. So, yeah, a mixed bag for sure.
And then in our league, somebody didn't start Kirk Cousins. But who's your quarterback, though? I can't really blame you.
Well, I had Derek Carr, and I dropped him.
Oh, gross. Yeah, he's playing like poop.
Yeah. So I went out. Who did I pick up?
I don't remember.
That's what happens when old age kicks in. Neither one of us can remember who my quarterback is.
Real quick, though, back to your point. New Orleans, they're a great team, but it all revolves around Carr. You can't have Taysom Hill in there or John Hayner.
Right.
Come on. No way.
Yep. So, yeah, I think New Orleans has an outside chance of being NFC champions. Maybe not. I
like them a hell of a lot more than I like the favorites. Two of the favorites, Dallas and Philadelphia.
Yeah, before the season started, they were favorites, but now if you look at it, Minnesota's going to be the favorite they're 5-0. I mean,
I think San Fran is still the odds-on favorite, but I think they're 1-2.
really?
Yeah.
San Francisco's. Ooh,
Yeah.
yikes.
Well, they got there
So-
last year. They made the NFC Championship, 3 out of 6 years or something. So,
Yeah, I don't.
like I
Anyway.
said, I think the Minnesota thing is kind of fluky. So we'll see.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk
right.
about Gub. Let's do Gub.
Let's do good.
Yep. What has got you bent, Josh?
I don't have a whole lot that's got me bent. Why don't you go first?
All right, I've got
There's something I've kind of been thinking of on the back of my mind. I want to see I want to phrase it appropriately,
Oh
okay?
boy, this is definitely gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah.
But so what's got me bent is every single color commentator and analyst on TV. Every single one of them. I'm so they're almost becoming cookie cutters of each other, and it's paralyzing listening to these guys. It's absolutely terrible. There's been some games where I've actually turned the volume down just so I didn't have to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Collinsworth drives me nuts. Joe Buck drives me crazy.
Yes.
Troy Aikman, same thing.
His dad was amazing though, Jack Buck.
That's what you keep saying, but I don't know. He did what, college basketball?
He did baseball.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
But now they've got see, I don't. That's how much I care.
Yes, I know.
Now they've got Tom Brady. Now I'll say this in all fairness, I have not heard Tom Brady call a game yet, and I'm pretty sure I don't really care to.
He's not bad. The only critique I'll give of him is, and I gotta get close to the screen to look at this. Every time they show his face, he's always got this like weird look on his face, like he wants to like eat your skin or something. It's just or wear your skin, but it's just so creepy every time they show his face. But He's actually not bad. I mean, Brady knows his shit.
He does.
You know.
The problem that I'm going to have with Brady also, now you know the rumors that he was looking to buy into the Las Vegas Raiders, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in the NFL, and you may or may not know this, in the NFL, when you're a team owner or a prospective team owner, you cannot talk to anybody. So these guys go down.
Yep.
These guys go down and they talk to players before the game. And they get all the insight. That's why you always hear them say, you talk about, I was talking to this guy the other day, and he told me that he has 12 kids, and blah, 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 blah. But Brady's not going to have that inside scoop. He's not going to be able to talk to these guys on a one-on-one basis and prepare for it. Now, that being said...
I'm still betting he does, but I mean...
Yeah, that being said, though, even without that, I can't take away his knowledge. I don't like the guy as a football player, but... I will say he does know the game.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't know the game, he wouldn't have done all the things he's done in the NFL. So that's what's got me, Ben.
Okay. So, I figured out a way to say this appropriately without offending anybody. And I'm not going to support any one political candidate, but we saw there were debates recently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not going to support Republicans. I'm not going to support Democrats, but some of these debates have been canceled because the candidates didn't want to get fact checked while they're on the stage with their debates. I just think that's the dumbest thing in the world. I mean, how unfair is that? I mean, granted, a lot of the shit we say is fake, but we're not running for president or vice president or political office. You know what I mean? I mean, not because we tend to mislead you. We just don't know what the hell we're talking about.
The Brickshaw.
Yes. Okay. But the fact that some of these candidates think that, I'm just going to get up there and lie and no, I mean, if that's what fact checks are for. You know what I mean?
Well, if they fact check somebody, they can't lie, and who wants that?
Right, and there's this negative stigma around fact checking, and it's what the hell else is it there for?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's kind of
but that's what's got me bent. I mean, it's on both sides of the aisle for whether you're running for Rockford City Council or whether you're running for President of the United States. How many debates have we seen canceled? Hundreds in the last month just because nobody wants to get fact checked. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, we're eventually once this election is over, I think moving forward we'll probably go on to debates where candidates lie and you don't really know unless you do your own research.
Which is terrible, I think.
Yeah, it is. But
I mean, especially you're getting up there in age. You're not even going to know how to use a computer and do your own research anymore.
Well, ain't you funny? Anyway, so this and I'm not going to dwell on this because this is totally football unrelated, and I don't want to dwell on it. But
yeah.
The vice presidential debate, there was no fact checking live, real time. Which was absolutely terrible because if you go back and look at it, there's things, and I'm not saying one or the other, but both candidates had stuff that was not necessarily accurate. We need to eliminate that, and the only way to do that is through live real-time.
Yes, one thing I do want to mention because it's already been shown on Saturday Night Live, so I can't mention it.
I watched that, by the way.
You did, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the two vice presidential candidates, they acted like they were best friends up there. I agree with you. I agree with this. SNL, if you guys haven't seen the skit, you have to see the skit. Jim Gaffigan plays Walls, and I forget who plays Vance. Bowen Yang.
Yep.
And they agree with each other, and at the end, they go to shake hands, and then they hug, and then they start making out, and they fall to the floor. They're so in love with each other. I thought that was so fitting.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on.
We're going to move on to WOMF. So
yeah, let's do the WOMF.
We're going to do this a little differently this week.
It's time for your favorite part of the show.
Yes, and we are 21 and 19, so we're
above.
We're above the 50% mark. We're 52.5%.
Now explain to them how we're doing WOMF this week. It's a little bit different than we've done in the past.
We're doing props this week, okay? For those of you who don't know what props are, they're propositions. And no, Alan, don't even think we're doing stuff like that, okay? But I filled out the WOMF this week, so I put a player's name, and for example, let me just spin it. I'm going to do the first one. I'll explain how it works, and I'll do it, okay?
Okay.
Because you guys kind of got to see it to figure it out. All right, so yellow. So this one is, okay, Richardson start. So we're not bettors, but in the sports books, you can bet on totals. You can bet on if this team's going to win by how much. You can also bet on props or proposition bets, which means you can bet on if Anthony Richardson is going to start this week if he's healthy. Like I said before, I don't think he is. he is healthy, I don't think he's going to start, even though I want him to, because he's my QB1 that I drafted. So I'm going to go Anthony Richardson, no start.
Okay.
Okay, and these are worth 1 point each, guys. Again, so yeah, we figured we'd mix it up a little. So, but some of them will say, for example, this guy is not on there, but DeAndre Swift over under 57 yards.
Over. Under. Both.
Well, it's not on there.
Right
so
on 50. What if it happens to be right on 57?
then it's a push. You don't win. You know how you had a couple ties last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
All
right.
Ties.
All right, so your turn. So I got Richardson, no start this week.
I don't like ties. I don't like wearing them. I don't like seeing them. All right.
Do you even know how to tie a tie?
Yes, I do actually. A half Windsor.
Me too.
Aren't you impressed that I know what
Yeah.
it's even called?
Well, back when we worked at that company together, for many years, we had to wear a tie every day to work. So, yes.
Dallas over under 23.5.
Okay, that's the game. Another game that I think is gonna be a really, really good, important game. The analysts are really predicting Detroit, even though it's on the road, it's only a 3.5 point favorite. But Detroit, I think, is just gonna shred that Cowboys.
Am I going off of Dallas's score?
Dallas's score, because here's the reason why. I don't think, and this is my opinion, you can say what you think or not, I don't think Dallas is going to be able to keep up with Detroit. I think they're going to get shredded. And are they going to score? The over-under is 52.5. So can Dallas account for 23.5 or more points, or 23.5 or less points?
How in the hell do they score a half a point?
They don't. This is a win or a loss. That's why I put it up there, okay?
Okay, so I got to pick them to win or lose?
Over or under 23.5 points, team points.
Well, I don't have to worry about a tie then because they can't get a half a point. All right, so.
I just said that, guys, too.
Under.
I just said
Under.
that. Okay. Dallas
Just
under.
right. You just right. I'm going to talk. You
Dallas
just right.
under 23.5 points. There's one on there that I hope you get because.
Is it that one?
No, it's not. I don't know which one it is. I don't know which color it is. I wrote them all down and
Sure
I
you don't.
put the colors on. All right, Burrow, 25 plus fantasy points. So,
Right.
do you think Burrow against the New York Jets this week? He went off, guys, last week. He had another week like Kirk Cousins did.
Doesn't
you know?
matter what I think. I didn't spin.
Yeah. 25 plus points against that Jets defense.
Are we talking like real points or
Fantasy points.
Okay.
Okay. Burrow, 25 fantasy points. I like him in that matchup. Detroit's really reeling right now, especially they fired Salah. So
It's not Detroit, it's the Jets. The Jets are reeling.
the Jets are reeling, yes, because they fired Salah.
Yeah,
See, I pulled an Allen. So
it's okay.
I think he's going to stay hot. I think they're going to blow the Jets out of the water. So I'm going to go over 25 fantasy points.
Wish I would have got that one because I'd have went under.
Would you have really?
Yes. The Jets defense is awesome. I will tell you that right now. The Jets. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, he's senile.
That's why I didn't put it at 30.
No.
He scored damn near 50 last week. So I was going to put it at 30, but I put it at 25.
Did he play the Jets last week? No. Okay.
Who did they play though?
It doesn't matter.
Baltimore. Come on, dude. Their defense is just as good overall, if not better.
I don't know.
Jets have Sauce Gardner. That's it.
Look at Baltimore's stats. Look at their stats. They're surprisingly weak this year. I'm telling you. Look at it.
I think you're giving. If it weren't for Sauce Gardner, that Jets defense would be far worse.
Okay, so Adams.
Devontae Adams over under 3. Okay, and that is from today or from this week. We're technically still in week 5.
Okay.
So will he be traded before or after week 8?
Oh, okay.
So
I'm gonna
over
go-
under 3 weeks.
I'm going over because he's not getting traded this year. I told you that before, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, so over 3 weeks. Okay,
And I have Devontae, and so do you, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we both have Devontae.
Not in the same league.
Let me ask you. No, yeah, in different leagues. Let me ask you this: do you want him to be traded? And if so, what team and why?
I would love to see him go to Denver. I like Bo Nix. He's got the arm. I don't like the mix of Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. I don't like that time zone, that time slot that they're in. I know, Greg, yes, Denver's in the same time slot. I would love for him to go to a team like, God, can you imagine Buffalo, Kansas City, something like that? But I would love for him to I would love to see him go to Denver. I really like Bo Nix. I saw what he can do in college. He's got a much better arm than either one of those two guys, and he's more accurate than either one of those two guys. And he can run better than either one of those two guys. So,
True. All right. I'm gonna touch base on some of the teams that are.
oh, and he'll have to play the atrocious Las Vegas defense twice a year. So he'll be playing his old team that sucks.
All right. Let's touch base on a couple of the teams where, if he does get traded, where he might end up. Pittsburgh, the New York Jets, obviously with that Aaron Rodgers thing. A couple surprises in there too. What was some of the ones that I've seen? Kansas City was one of them.
Kansas City. I think they're Kansas City, New York are almost afterthoughts at this point. I think Denver and Pittsburgh are the two favorites.
What about Green Bay?
I would love to see him go to Green Bay.
Why?
Because I love Jordan Love as a quarterback. Right now, you got a mix of Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson. I don't like any one of those guys. Dontavian Wicks, he's putting up numbers, but he's getting 8,000 targets a game. Okay? I don't know, I like that environment. Now, honestly, he would score the most points, I think, in New York, back with Rodgers. But I hate Aaron Rodgers, so I don't want him to go there. Okay?
Fair enough.
Yes, fair enough. So I like, of the logical possibilities, I think, or reasonable possibilities, I like Denver.
Okay.
What about you?
If he does get traded, and again, I don't think he's going to get traded. If he does get traded, man, I tell you, there's so many landing spots that would be good for him. Obviously, he's not going to Chicago, Denver, or Chicago, Detroit, or Minnesota.
Right.
So I don't have to worry so much about him being in.
He's not going to go to the AFC East, most likely, any of those teams.
Most likely not. But think about this. What if he went to the NFC East and was paired up with CeeDee Lamb?
I thought you were going to say Terry McLaurin.
Or Terry McLaurin, too, yeah.
They paid Dak. They don't have enough money.
They do. They're actually, if you look it up, they're actually under the salary cap.
Really?
He's only got 1 year left on his contract, so they're not going to be obliged to a whole lot as far as paying him.
Or no, they gave Lamb a bunch of money. Never mind. I'm sorry. It was Lamb they paid.
They paid Lamb and they paid Micah Parsons this year. So that was the two big ones. If he goes to Dallas, boom! Look out. That changes.
I don't like it.
That changes everything for Lamb. Number one, he's not going to get as many targets. It also changes things for Dak in a positive way, though.
Yes.
So think about that. If that happens,
I have thought about that, actually. I heard something about that on the radio earlier, and I'm going to give an old college football reference. 5 teams out of the top 11 in college football lost last week, okay? And it's not because the teams aren't good. It's because these leagues are so good now that they're just... The schedules that you're going through are so tough, they're just cannibalizing each other, and that's what happens. I think that's going to be the same thing for fantasy value. With Devontae and CeeDee Lamb. They're just going to cannibalize each other for targets and points. Now, granted, Dallas is probably going to jump to a Super Bowl favorite if they get Adams because the weapons that they have, I mean, Sam's running back. So
if they do wind up getting him, they're going to jump to the top for me. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes.
And again, Dax becomes very valuable in fantasy.
I think they'll be a great Super Bowl contender, kind of like Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. But if you look back at the numbers, those guys were the best 1-2 in football, most weapons. Neither one of those guys were ever a wide receiver 1, okay, or in the top 2 or 3 because they took each other's targets and they took each other's points. Football-wise, it's great. Fantasy-wise, I don't think it is.
I think one of the biggest duels right now as far as a 1-2 punch in wide receivers is going to be in Cincinnati. It's going to be T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
And a surprising one that's come out of nowhere, Drake London and Darnell Mooney. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's definitely a surprise. But if that's the case, they will definitely jump to number 1. So do me a favor, spin the wheel.
All right. Please don't be the one I'm thinking of. All right. Gibbs over under 95 total yards. They're playing Dallas, guys. I love that over for 95 total yards. We talk about Dallas, their defense. What are you doing?
Nothing.
You can't peek.
I'm not peeking.
That's like seeing the bride before the wedding day. You can't see that. I'm going to go Gibbs over 95 total yards. I think Detroit is going to shred that game, or shred that Dallas defense, and I think they're going to be out most of the game. So
Okay. All right. And you have to see the bride before the wedding day, otherwise you don't know who you're marrying.
Oh my God, just spin, please.
Boing. Adams. Oh,
No.
we already did Alex. Oh, look at that. It landed on that one.
All right, that's like baby poop green color.
Lamar. Over, under, 65.
Rushing yards for Lamar. He's hit. I think he's hit that threshold every game. He's had a couple games over 100. They are playing. Oh my God! It just slipped my mind. Who are they playing?
Another team.
We just talked about this. Gosh darn it. Let me look it up because this game is another like 51.5 point.
Man, this is a hard one. Is this the one you wanted me to get?
No.
Okay.
You'll know when you get it. So
this is a hard one because
I don't even think you know who the guy is. So. All right, let's see. Come on.
This is the guy with only 3 fingers on his hand?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Although it worked the other day, we were talking about Tom Dempsey. Remember we were talking about him and with his shoe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come on, who are they playing? Oh my God.
Maybe they get a bye this week. Wouldn't that be funny?
They don't. Oh my God, no, they don't. Do they? Washington. Yes. Is Lamar going to have over 65 rushing yards against Washington? That game just jumped up to 52.5. That's going to be a shootout, I think, too.
I'm going to say over on that only because they have designed plays for Lamar to run it. And it's a fake handoff here, a fake handoff there, a fake pass here, a fake pass there, and then he runs it. So I'm going to say they have enough design plays that, yes, he'll have over 60.
A couple of years ago, you could have said that there was probably 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that had design runs in their playbook for the quarterbacks. I think Baltimore right now is the only one who really utilizes that. You know what I mean?
I think Pittsburgh does to a certain extent too, but not nearly as much as Chicago did when Fields was there.
Okay, with a caveat, Pittsburgh has no offensive game plan when they're going out there and playing this year. So
Yeah, they do. They threw it to Freiermuth once, and he got a touchdown.
it's kind of hope for the best, like throw it up, hope for the best.
Of course, they don't hand it off to Najee Harris, who I have on one of my leagues. Never mind.
Yes, Najee was supposed to have a big week last week, wasn't he? And he
Yes,
didn't.
man, just
I'm a little
spin.
bitter about that, even though I don't have him. But
Me too.
Monty, over under 1.5 total touchdowns.
Monty Python?
Yes, Alan. Yes, Alan.
Who's Monty?
David Montgomery. I like the
Montgomery.
I like the over 1.5 total touchdowns. Like I said, that Detroit offense is just going to run all over Dallas, and they're going to run all over Dallas some more. However, I'm not as high on this week is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dallas is decent in the secondary, but I don't think Detroit's going to throw 50 times like they usually do.
Didn't Micah Parsons get hurt though?
That's going to open up the run big time, dude.
I know, but didn't
He's out. He's out for the year, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see any update on that, so I wasn't really
I
sure.
think Dallas has 4 defensive starters that are out long term right now. So yeah, that line and the secondary is okay, but that line is just going to get shredded.
Mm-hmm. All right, so my turn.
Your turn.
Oh, what a spin right on the one that right here. Purdy.
Damn it.
Over under 1.5.
Purdy over under 1.5 touchdowns. The reason I included this guy is because he started off just amazing. He had a 2 or 3 game streak where he was just putting up gaudy numbers. He's kind of fallen back to earth. And I don't know, do you think he's going to recover this week and throw over?
Who are they playing?
They are playing, I think they're playing the Rams, aren't they?
I believe so, but
Let me double check.
Yeah, no, who are they playing?
Well, they're playing Thursday? Seattle. They're playing Seattle.
Seattle.
It is a 48-point over-under, though, so if that gives you any...
I'm going to go with over on that one.
Over 1.5?
Yep.
Okay.
I think they'll get 2.
Well, that's over 1.5.
Well, yeah, that's why I picked it.
Okay. I don't know why I spun it that hard, but hey, it worked.
Hey, what do you know?
All right, you're going to get the one. I got Derrick Henry over 1.5 rushing touchdowns. Don't look at it yet.
Okay, I won't. You're right. I don't know who that is. If I
Oh, it's over 1.5 total touchdowns. I'll still take the over. I think Derrick Henry's going to have at least 2 touchdowns in this game.
I hope so because I've got him on my team, so I hope so.
God, I wish I took Tyreek Hill number 4 overall in our draft in our league. Now that going back at it, hindsight always 2020, I might have taken Henry at number 4. Wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. God, I wish I had him. So
And surprisingly, I got him in round 2 on the draft that I got him in.
yes, you did.
So, all right.
All right. So this one,
who the hell is this?
bring it up there.
Gentry?
GNT. So Alan and I, we talk about college football, even though Alan doesn't like it as much. But no, listen. We do. You like to see like guys that are up and coming and things like that, so you can look for them and like rookie drafts, things like that. Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State, guys. They're through 5 games right now. He's got 95 attempts. Okay, that's 19 a game. That's not out of this world. He's got over 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns.
Under.
So is he going to get
Under
3? Okay, the prop was Ashton Jeanty over under 3.5 rushing touchdowns or total touchdowns. We'll
Under.
say. Okay,
Total touchdowns or running touchdowns?
total touchdowns.
Under.
Okay.
Running touchdowns? Under.
I will tell you this: they are playing Hawaii, who gives up about 60 points a game. So
Who cares?
So we'll see. But yeah, guys, watch out for Ashton Jeanty. He was an afterthought going into this college football season. He's now one of the 3 Heisman favorites. They played decent teams. No, they're not playing against shit teams. They played against Oregon, who's a great defensive
Yes,
team now in the Big Ten, and
Yes, or I was
he
going to say
shredded
that.
them. So
I was going to say that Oregon is a great defensive team. I was just going to say that.
no, you were not.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, we're good. So
All right, guys,
we'll see how this ends up. So I think this is going to be a little exciting.
All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate our new subscribers, all those folks that watch us every week. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We've had a lot of views on our last few posts.
Oh, I'm going to talk to that guy tomorrow, the one that said he might want to come on the show, and we'll see if we can figure it out.
We're gonna see if we can't get a guest on the show to kind of talk some football with us. And is he a fantasy football player?
He is.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect,
he is.
Perfect. Because we want to talk a little bit more about fantasy next week from that perspective. But I will say that when we played each other, I beat you.
Yeah, whatever. It does. I'm going to say like one of the candidates said in the vice presidential debate, I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm looking forward to the future. Okay.
Hey, but congratulations on your first win.
Oh, I did get my first win. Yeah, barely.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. Jackson is at basketball tryouts tonight, so good luck, Jackson. Trying out for the school basketball team, so I hope you get it, buddy.
Good luck, Jackson Brown.
I'll talk to you tomorrow and see how it goes.
All right. Hey, guys, like I said, we do appreciate you guys subscribing and watching us every week. We have had, like I said, a lot of views on our last few videos, so keep that up. Keep the momentum going for us. We want to get to that threshold of subscribers where we can do a live and
one more thing too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, finish them.
And we do want to get to that level where we have the ability to do a live on YouTube. We may just pull something out of our butts pretty soon and do a live on Facebook. It's something we haven't talked about very much, but something I'd like to do.
We've done a couple of them, and they've
in the past.
they've been really well received.
Yes,
and
and they're a lot of fun too. I just love doing live. So
only a minimal amount of threats.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I only got like 4 or 5 death threats, so much less than our usual shows.
100 or 4 or 5?
4 or 5.
Oh, I got about 400 or 500.
Oh, okay.
But I get that every day.
Still
because
less
I'm
than
just,
our normal
I'm just
shows.
so handsome. People are jealous, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what it is. Anyway, you have something you wanted to add on?
One more thing we both want to mention is our thoughts and prayers go out to those hurricane victims down in Florida. I've been following it pretty big the last couple of days because my niece is down there in Tampa right now. So I've been thinking about her. But this is the worst tropical storm, they said, in 200 years. Yeah. Or 290 years. They have winds up to 200 miles per hour. And one thing that really...
Are you talking about Helene or the new one?
The new one, Milton.
Okay.
Yes, and one thing, I should have mentioned this while I was Gub. The insurance companies down there are really jerking people around. Do you see that? They're really jerking people around. Many people are having to abandon their homes.
It happens every hurricane.
Yeah.
The insurance companies just they charge them an outrageous amount, and I'm not gonna get on my soapbox.
And they don't want to cover. So
and when push comes to shove, they don't want to cover. Or they find some excuse to not cover, and it's horrible.
But guys, do your research. If you do want to read about some of the insurance companies' tactics, from what I hear, it's pretty bad. So our thoughts and prayers go out to those hurricane victims right now. Like I said, the worst storm in 200 years. So we're praying for you. And we're
on
thinking
the,
about you.
On the bright side, I did see on the news today that the hurricane is supposed to lose some of its strength right before it hits land. It's supposed to drop down to a level or a
Category 4?
Category 3, actually.
Oh, 3, okay. Because
Yeah,
it was a 5 earlier this morning.
Right, and it's supposed to drop down to a 4 and then 4 today and then a 3 before it hits tomorrow. So for those of you that are in Florida, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. Please be safe. Get out of the area. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you're safe.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we really appreciate you sticking through the video this far because, I even when I watch it, I don't really watch it this far because, I'm here. And I know what's going on. So,
I watch the whole thing because I like,
nothing better to do.
yeah, I like hearing the sound of my own voice, not yours, but just kidding.
You mute it when I start talking, you mute it and then turn it back up.
I always watch it because there's mistakes we make all the time, and it's funny just to see how
You think?
you got two idiots that are sitting here talking like they know football.
All right, guys, but do like, subscribe, and share, and make sure your friends get bent.
On fantasy football.